Good morning, everyone. The last time we were here, we talked about the Chiyuv, and we talked about the fact that originally the Chiyuv was three things: leading services on Motzei Shabbos, saying the Haftorah, and saying Kaddish. The Ramah was the one that added davening every weekday. Now the question is that under all circumstances? So in order to answer this question, we have to take a step back and ask, who is indeed worthy to be Chazzan? So the Code of Jewish Law in chapter number Nun Gimel 53 devotes an entire chapter to this very question. And he actually goes into who can be Chazzan, who's allowed to lead services. And he has a very long list. It's not so simple to get up there and daven for an Amud. And I want to be very clear. We're not talking about a Chazzan that, at a sporadic Mincha Ma'ariv, goes ahead and leads services. We're talking about someone that's going to daven for either as the permanent Chazzan of a shul, or someone that's going to daven all year because he has this Chiyuv. So that's what we're talking about. In that context, comes along the Shulchan Aruch and basically says the following words. Who can be Chazzan? Number one, Shiyeh Hagun, Ve'eza Hagun, Shiyeh Rekan Ma'avirot. The leader, number one, must be one who is honest. Who's honest? One who's free from sin. So a sinner cannot go up there and lead services. Number two, that this is not someone that has a bad name even when he was young. Namely, someone with a clean slate in the eyes of the people. Number three, anav, he should be humble. Number four, one who's acceptable to the congregation, not davening and beyond his davening. Number five, says the Shulchan Aruch, yesh lo ni'ima, he's skilled at Nusach. He knows how to daven. He doesn't stop say the words Baruch Atah Hashem. He says Baruch Atah Hashem. In other words, he uses the nigun that people usually know, the Nusach that people could relate to. In fact, Kolo Arev, one whose voice is pleasant. If you don't have a pleasant voice, you can't be Chazzan, obviously, because you're going to annoy the people with your voice. And finally, says the Shulchan Aruch, Ragril, Ikrot, B'Torah, Nevi'im, V'Ktuvim. The Abu Draham established that the Hebrew of the Siddur is the Hebrew that's biblical, and therefore, says the Shulchan Aruch, he has to be someone that's proficient in reading biblical texts, because if he's not, he's going to make mistakes. So these are 7 things that every Chazzan has to have. Now, ultimately, if he doesn't, says the Shulchan Aruch, he can't be Chazzan. The Mishnah Berurah adds on 2 more. He shouldn't be one of the latecomers to shul and one of the earliest people to leave. And number 2, he says, it's not enough, says the Mishnah Berurah, that he's merutzel kahal like the Shulchan Aruch, but rather he's able to mingle with them. He's able to talk to them. He's able to ultimately relate to them so they could see him as a shliach tzibor. So as you could see, to be a Chazzan takes a bunch of things. And therefore, if the Chiyuv cannot meet these criteria, it's obviously obvious that despite the minhag in the Ramah, he cannot be Chazzan. And therefore, he should not be Chazzan. And again, we're not talking about someone that's a sporadic Chazzan on a yard site. We're talking about someone that every single day for 11 months is going to be leading services. Shachris, Mincha, Ma'ariv. And he needs to have at least these 7 things, if not the 9 things, if you add in the 2 things for the Mishnah Berurah. And if, God forbid, he says, I don't care, I'm still going to be Chazzan, the Ramah paskins, you can't daven without the congregation actually sending you up there. And if you run up there saying, I'm a Chiyuv and I can care less, says the Ramah, you don't say Amen after he goes ahead and says Chazarat Hashatz or whatever he says, because ultimately he lacks the 3 things that you need, what I call the 3 P's. Number 1, persona. Number 2, pace. And number 3, pronunciation. If he doesn't have this, which is basically summing up all those 7 to 9 things that the Shulchan Aruch and the Mishnah Berurah says, he cannot be Chazzan. So even though there's a minhag in the Ramah, and even though it's a beautiful minhag, not under all circumstances. If he doesn't meet these things, he cannot be Chazzan.